with stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to try not to trip over the dog. And it's time for some movement. If you've never been here before, we're doing a bunch of hip mobility and side splits, lifting and stretching. We're going to warm up. We're going to take it nice and slow. I'm going to explain a whole bunch of stuff as we go. And you can just sit back, probably not relax too much. Try your best to relax, but you're going to be working out alongside us. All right, let's go. First thing I'm going to do is slowly warm up. And I'm going to pause real quick because I just got a big beepy sound in my right ear as if something crazy has happened. Can you turn off Bluetooth on my computer, please? So that it doesn't take over from the phone. Thank you. All right, boom, we're back. All right, let's do this. First thing we're going to do is warm up with some hip CARs. CAR stands for controlled articulated rotations, and that means we're going to do something that looks like this. We're going to control our knee. We're going to bring it up as high as we can, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Try your best, flex those muscles. Then we're going to point that knee that away. Boom. As far that away as you can. Feel free to hold on to something for balance, for support. Get a wall, that will work perfectly. From here, we're going to rotate this leg. All right, we're going to slowly bring the knee forward and the ankle back until your ankle is hidden behind your knee. And then we're going to keep going. Whew. You might start feeling some tension here in the side of that hip. I want you to keep on rotating, flex the hamstrings real hard, and then when you're about to cramp up, bring that leg down and back, right where the dog has gone. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch right here in the front of the hip. That is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Why are you so itchy? What's going on with you? We're going to start right now. High knee, open. Ankle up some more, down and back. That's one. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's two. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's three. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's four. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's five. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's six. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's seven. Three more. High knee, open, ankle up. If you're off balance, hold on to something. Give me a sec. Let me catch up. Ankle up, down and back. That's eight. Two more. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whoo! That is a whole bunch of hip CARs. We're gonna keep going. Let's do 10 more on the other side, on this leg. Give me a second. I'm going to adjust this camera. It seems like it's kind of pointing a tad bit low. All right. This leg. Let's do it. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Remember, the goal here is to really rotate, get as much range of motion out of your hips, out of this set of bones as possible. I think that's seven. Ankle up, down and back. That's eight. And so really try to lift your legs as high as you can. What that means is, even though this move is going to look very similar for a long time, if you're trying your best, you'll probably be going just a tiny bit higher all the time and getting into a deeper version. All right? Whew, that was us going forward. Now we're going to go backwards, going in reverse. What I want you to do is start by bringing the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, feel the stretch right here in the front, right? And then we're going to lift that leg to the side. Boom. So that the knee and the ankle are about the same height, horizontal. Then we're going to rotate. We're going to bring the knee down, lift the ankle up. Do the opposite, bring the ankle down, bring the knee up, and then bring everything to the front. That is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these on both legs. I'm going to face you so it's easier to mirror and copy me. And let's begin. Find a nice, stable position. Flex those abs, stay nice and strong, and let's go back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's three. Remember, the goal is to give it your bestest, to really contract those muscles, to lift your leg, to rotate your leg as much as you can. Yours does not have to look like mine, all right? As long as you're going backwards, you're lifting up to the side, you're rotating, bring the knee down, lifting the ankle up, bring the ankle down, lifting the knee up, and bringing it forward. We're all good. That's five. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's six. Keep going. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's seven. Three more. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's eight. Keep going. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 10. Whew. Check out your legs. The one that is doing all the balancing work, trying to keep you stable. A lot of little tiny muscles firing real hard, trying to keep you in position. So give it some love, shake it out, flop a little bit, relax, and breathe. Let's get ready to wrap this up. One last leg, and we're done with warm-up exercise number one. All right? Let's do this. Get ready. Get nice and strong in that leg if you can. Spread those toes out. Grip the floor for balance. And if you need help with balance, you can stick your hands out, grab something else too. All right? Let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's four. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's six. Back, right? Is that right? Ankle, ankle, knee, that's seven. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's eight. Finally, I put in the right number of fingers. Side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. Whew, that is all of our reps. That is our first warm-up exercise. Remember, the goal is to just try your best to get as deep into the range of motion that you can access. Build up some strength as you try to go a little bit further, try to go a little higher, try to go a little wider, in all those directions that you could be turning, rotating, whatever. All right, we're gonna move on into our warm-up exercise number two. It's a little bit more chill compared to the elephant walk. It's a little bit more chill compared to hip cars. It's called the elephant walk. We're gonna fold here at the hips. We're gonna try to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. We're gonna just breathe. All right, inhale, exhale. Try to sink a little deeper into your stretch. Inhale, exhale. Try to sink a little deeper into your stretch. Once you've been here for a couple seconds, we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold the belly buttons down. All right? Adjust your legs. Make them a little bit wider if you want. Experiment with that. And we're going to switch the leg that's bent and switch the leg that's straight. We're going to switch from side to side and side to side. I want you to keep on feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. Maybe even up into the glutes, maybe slightly into the low back even, while you're really focused on folding forward. And we're going to keep going until I'm done telling you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching. Keep on switching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make it a little bit more fun, to do the suffering that we put ourselves through every single day. So, if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you want to practice a little bit more consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. We're live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you are not in the Eastern time zone, we started probably about 10 minutes ago. So that time, whatever it is for you, is when we are live every single night. All right? And that's Monday through Sunday. So, now that you know the spiel, I hope you're ready to move on. We're going to get a little deeper into our stretch, all right? We're going to focus on the belly button. We're going to fold a little bit deeper. We're going to fold a little bit deeper. We're going to fold a little bit deeper. Really focus on folding. It's not about your head tucking in. It's about your belly button coming down. All right. Then we're going to keep on doing that knee bend and switch. Fold a little deeper. Do a little wiggle, wiggle that butt. See if you can get a little bit lower. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, pop into a little bit of a squat. Come back into standing. That is our elephant walk. Fan yourself, cool off, chill, relax some muscles, do a little wiggle, do a little shake, and let's get into warm-up exercise number 3. We're doing some thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is basically just below your neck to about your belly button-ish, and is designed to move really well. It's designed to rotate, designed to bend to the left, right, slouch, and the opposite. I'm not so good at the opposite, as you can tell, because my chest didn't go anywhere. But that's not the point. We're going to work on some rotation together. All right. What I want you to do is get back into the position we were just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and we're folding our belly buttons down towards the ground. All right. From here, we're going to take our arms, the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to that straight leg. I want you to push off your shin. The lower you go, the more forward folded you're probably going to be. And we do want that forward fold. And we're going to try our best to push off that leg to help rotate our spine, rotate our chest, and hopefully make it possible for us to extend our arms straight up into the sky. If your arm and your chest is more at an angle like this, that's okay. Just work your bestest to try to get vertical. And then if you can, after that, go a little bit past vertical. All right. When you've reached your sort of, not stretching too hard position, we're going to look at the hand. So the neck is rotated. We're going to inhale. We're going to slowly exhale and then try and reach a little further back. All right. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. That is half a rep. Whew. Let's go and match it on the other side. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, one arm from the bent side, only arm on the bent side is reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that leg. We're opening up the chest. We're looking at the hand. We're rotating. Inhale, exhale, reach. Woo! That is officially 1 rep on the left, 1 rep on the right. We're going to do 5 of these in total. Take your time. Make sure to exhale, relax, and reach at the same time. Because when the air is coming out of your lungs, a whole bunch of pressure disappears. You can shift and move a little bit easier. And let's continue. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Switch to the other side. And continue. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Whew, that is 2 reps. Keep going. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 3. And other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Whew. 2 more. 4 and 5. Let's go. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Whew. And other side. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. All right, 5th time. We're going to cover it from the top. We're bending one leg. We're straightening out the other leg. We're folding our belly buttons down. We're taking an arm from the bent leg side. We're reaching across to the straight leg. We're going to try and keep that arm rather low, hand placed rather low. We're going to push off that leg to open up and rotate. Hand is sticking up as high as you can. Rotate the neck to look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Number 5. And last one. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Woo! That is our thoracic rotation. You might be feeling a whole bunch of tiredness in the delts. That's these muscles here in the shoulder, those big bulgy lumpy things. Those are called delts. And you might be feeling a little bit like kind of in the tricep, maybe over here because you're trying to reach your arm back. That's normal. Don't worry about it. It'll disappear in a couple of minutes when you relax. And we don't need it for the rest of the show anyway. This is a hip mobility side splits show. All right. We're going to move on to our fourth and final warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch, and it looks a little bit like this. I'm just make sure I'm not going to kick anything, and I'm going to move this out of the way, actually. Oh, all right. What I want you to do is open up your legs decently wide-ish to start. Doesn't have to be crazy. What we're going to do next is going to change everything anyway, all right? I want you to see if you can slowly sink into a deep-ish looking squat on one leg and basically send that other leg out somewhere over that way, all right? Our goal eventually is to get super low to the ground like this. Deep squat here, side split over there. If you're just starting out, you might get stuck right around here. That's totally fine. That is where we're going to begin. All right. If you're a little bit more intermediate, you've been doing this for a while, maybe you'll be somewhere in the middle, and that is all good. The goal at the end of the day is eventually to get as low as you can. All right. But stop where you can stop. Stop where you feel like you're in control, and let's continue. Wherever you are in the movement, we're moving our butts that way. So if you're high enough, you're strong enough, you can just go whoop, come on over. Great. If you're a little too low, a little too deep, you don't have enough power to get over, you might benefit from putting your hands down and scooting your butt over to the side using your hands. All right. Takes a little bit of skill out of controlling your body weight, takes a little bit of technique out of balance because you got hands. All right. Once you've come on over to the other side, we're going to come back, and that is 1 rep. We're going to count that as 1. I don't know how many of these you've done already because I've been demonstrating all over the place, but we're going to count that as 1. We're going to do 10 of these in total, and as we go through them, I'm going to add more and more difficult variations. You don't have to do them. I'm just showing them to you if you're ready for them, all right? Again, get as low as you can go, wherever that is for you, and let's scoot our butts over to the other side. When you're on the other side, inhale, exhale. See if you can relax some of that tension. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. If you can't, don't worry. It's not going to happen all in one go. So take your time. Come on back over. That's 2. If you realize you can do this without your hands, feel free to skip using your hands and keep going. That's 3. Now we're going on to number 4. If you're ready for something a little bit more difficult, try your best to sit up a little straighter or squat up a little bit straighter. Keep that chest up, stick your head into the ceiling, stick your arms out in front of you to help counterbalance, and keep going. This is 5. And keep going. 6. All right. If at this point you're like, oof, my knees are really feeling it, it's a little bit challenging, we're going to make it a little bit easier, right? Wherever you've been doing your Cossack switches, I want you to come up a little bit. I want you to go slide on over with some grace, some pizzazz, some skill, and then slowly sink down into your deepest position. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink a little bit deeper. And then start flexing those muscles. Come up a little bit. Come across. Pause. Sink a little bit. And go again. I think that's 7, right? Keep going. Up. Across. Down. And up. Across. And down. That's 8. If you want to just keep doing the up, across, and down thing, keep doing that. That's great. If you want to go for something more fun, try some squats. We're going to power through out of this one leg, come back into standing, and that's basically it. Let's go. Boom. That's 9. We're going to do the other side. Slowly come on down. Whew. Take a breath. Pause. Exhale and push. That's 9. We got one last rep. You can do whatever you want, all right? But I'm going to do a squat. Feel free to follow along. Come on down nice and slow. With control. Power through. Come on back down on the other side, nice and slow, with control, and boom, power through. That is 10 Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, Cossack squats. Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit more warmed up. You're a little bit sweaty. Your joints, your knees, your ankles, your hips have all been doing a whole bunch, your back included, because it's time for us to get into the meat of our show. It's time to do some hip mobility, stretchy stuff, right? What we did so far was the warm-up. And if you don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we keep on putting ourselves through every single day a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you like side splits, you want to work on your hip mobility, you need a little bit of help practicing consistency. Make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back because we're live every single day, Monday through Sunday, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're not in the Eastern Time Zone, we started about 22 minutes ago, and that's the time we start Monday through Sunday every single day. So be here, or I guess don't be here. Cool. Let's go ahead and get into our stretches. We're gonna get into a hamstring stretch. What I recommend is you go grab a little piece of padding for your knee because we're gonna be spending a lot of time on it. All right. It doesn't have to be fancy. I got more pieces of this gym floor foamy stuff I got off Amazon, and if you have an old flip flop, perfect. If you got old sneakers, you're not gonna wear outside anymore. You're just too cheap to throw them away. Stick them under your knee. Perfect. They got a second life. If you have an old towel that needs to be washed, should have been in the laundry, you forgot about it, roll it up, stick it under your knee. It's padding now. All right. Couch cushion, decorative pillow, anything with a little bit of padding, a little bit of foam will be perfect. I hope you've grabbed it because we're gonna move on. I want you to have your knees underneath your hips underneath your shoulders underneath your head. I want you to have this nice, strong, straight line, and then I want you to extend one leg out in front while maintaining that nice, strong, straight line. All right. What I don't want you to do is this, whee, and start turning this into a front split. This is a hamstring stretch. We're focusing on just the hamstrings. Everything else is just going to make it way too complicated and make it hard to deal with. We don't want that. We want a simple, focused, and next, we're going to bring our belly button down to our thighs. All right. What I want you to do is take a big breath in, inhale, and flop over. Exhale. Whew. As soon as you get a little bit stuck folding forward, I want you to just chill, relax, inhale, exhale. Let your body flop over that leg. That's one. We're going to do it 3 times in total. Let's go. Number 2, inhale, exhale. Let your body flop over that leg. 3rd time, inhale, exhale. Let your body flop over that leg. All right. When I say flop, I really mean it. Your body is relaxing. Everything is chilling. You're just letting gravity do all the work. I don't want you to be turning your head into a soccer ball, trying to smash it into your knee. All right. That's too much. Everything above your belly button should be chilling, just relaxed. Just let it all. Cool. All right. From here, we're going to add a little bit of movement. I'm going to scoot a little bit further back so I'm more centered in the camera. And we're going to add some movement. What I want you to do is bring your knee up, bring your chest down towards that knee the best that you can. Put your hands down, and then try to straighten out that leg while keeping your chest nice and low. All right. What we're practicing right now is this forward fold. At the end of the day, when you got super crazy chill hamstrings, your chest is going to touch your thigh, right? But your chest can probably get really close to touching your thigh as it is, as long as you bend your knee. All right. So we're trying to practice, we're trying to let our bodies remember what it is that we want before we even get there, and that will help keep your back from rounding when you're trying desperately to smash your face into the ground. All right, knee up, chest down, straighten out that leg. Just a couple of these. We've probably already done more than 5. Usually I say 5, but I got distracted talking about these. So once you're ready to move on, we're going to get a little deeper into our stretch. All right, what we're going to do is called the inhale, exhale, and fold. On the inhale, we're going to take a huge breath into our lungs, really fill them up all the way. Try not to inflate like a balloon and pop all the way up. Try to stay where you are. And then we're going to slowly exhale a whole bunch of air, nice and slow. And while we're exhaling, we're going to try and focus on that belly button. We're going to try and fold it down to the ground or to the thigh. Whatever you want to imagine is more fun for you. All right? Inhale, exhale, fold. You ready? Let's go. Big breath in, inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Fold. Woo! When you run out of air in your lungs, inhale. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Woo. Chill. Again, inhale. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. That's 2. 3rd time, inhale. Let your body flop over that leg in. Whew. We're going to do the knee thing, all right? Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. If your chest is staying pretty low the whole time, you might not need to bring your chest down further. You might just need to stop bringing your knee up so high. Bend the knee less. Bring the chest down a little bit more. Straighten it out. Knee less, chest more. Straighten it out. Knee less, chest more. Straighten it out. Knee less, chest more. Straighten it out. And now it's time for us to fall a little deeper. All right. Inhale, exhale, fold. You know the drill. Let's go. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Belly button down. Woo! Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Pause for a second. Again, inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. That's two. Third time. Let's go. Inhale, relax. That is three. All right. Last time. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's two. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's three. Knee, chest, straighten. Knee, chest, straighten. That should be about five. We're holding it here for 30 seconds and we're just chilling. All right. 30, 29, 28, 27. I know what I just said, but if you're a regular, we're not going to be just chilling. I want you to contract some muscles. If you're not a regular, ignore everything else that I'm about to say, and I'll tell you some other instructions later. All right. When we get to 20 seconds, I want you to contract your hamstring muscle. I want you to stab your heel into the ground. 20 seconds. Let's go. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. All right, everybody relax, chill, flop. 8, 7, 6. Once your hamstrings have relaxed, see if you can get a little bit deeper into your stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Woo! Bring your legs in, underneath you. Get into kneeling. And we're going to move on to the other side. Clench those glutes, flex those abs. If you need help, just imagine somebody's about to spank you, so you go, ah, and you protect your butt, clench those glutes. Pretend somebody's about to punch you, go, oh, flex those abs. That'll help to straighten out your posture, help to get these muscles engaged because you've been flopped over, you've been stretched out for so long. And let's continue. Extend one leg out in front. Get nice into that straight up and down position with the rest of your body. And let's get ready to fold. Bring the belly button down. Whee! Ugh. As soon as it gets stuck, we're ready to inhale and chill. All right. Inhale. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Whew. Do I usually say inhale? The more I say the word inhale, the more confused I seem to be about the word inhale. I've said it too many times. Another breath. Inhale. Relax. Let the body flop into that leg. I think I'm overthinking it. Big breath in. Relax. Let your body flop into that leg. Woo. All right. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Let's go. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Knee bend, chest down, straighten it out. Yours does not have to look like mine. All right. When you do that knee bend and you bring your chest down to it, if it is more or less following those instructions, bending the knee, bring the chest down, straighten out that leg. That is perfectly fine. All right, we're just doing our best. This, you don't have to push yourself crazy hard to make it look like mine. Cool? All right, from here, straighten out that leg one last time, and we're gonna go a little deeper. Inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's go. Big breath in. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo! Inhale, relax. Again, inhale, relax. Third time, let's go. Inhale, relax. Fold. Let your body flop over that leg and knee bend, chest down, straighten. Let's go. Knee bend, chest down, straighten. Knee, chest, straighten. That's two. Remember, the goal is to practice folding forward and get as comfortable as we can with that straightened leg. So If you can go a little deeper while keeping your back relatively straight without causing it to bend like crazy, keep going. All right. Once you're done about 5, we're going to get deeper one last time. Inhale, exhale, fold. You all ready? Let's do it. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Woo! Inhale, relax. 2 more. Inhale, relax. Whew, that's 2. Third time, let's do it. Inhale. Relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Again, you don't have to knee up very far if you're getting real foldy. Chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Knee up, chest down, straighten out. We're hanging out here for 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30, 29, 28. Just like last time, if you are a regular, get ready to contract those hamstrings, bring the heels into the ground. We're going to start at 20 seconds. 22, 21, 20. Contract, contract, contract. Slowly build up the intensity. Stick that heel into the ground. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. All right, relax. Breathe, chill. See if you can sink your hips a little deeper into the ground. Fold a little bit more. Bring that belly button down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. If you weren't clear, if you're brand new to this show, you don't have to do the crazy contracty stuff, all right? That's for the regulars, it's for the people who've been here for a while, and it is not easy. It is very challenging. That's why it's for the regulars who've built up some tolerance in this position, all right? Oh, that was our first stretch. Don't worry, the rest of the show isn't going to be nearly as brutal. We need our hamstrings extra loose and extra chill and extra lengthened because we got a whole bunch of other stretches that kind of depend on the hamstrings being already chilled out so we can focus on other muscles. All right. It's time to move on into stretch number 2. We're doing some. What are we doing? I'm having a brain fart. We're doing some butterfly stretch. Bring your butt over to the wall and have your butt, your low back, your shoulders, your head rest against the wall. All right. From here, we're going to grab our feet. We're going to bring them together. We're going to pull them into our groin. And this is our starting position. Ta-da! The goal of this stretch is to stretch out your inside of the thigh muscles, your groin muscles, and the way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground, all right? I want you to get stronger and have more control whenever you do stretches, because that's going to be how you do cool things with your new flexibility. I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to use your outer thighs. I want you to pull your legs into the ground and use your muscles, all right? If you're new to the show and you're like, what are you talking about? Don't worry about the details. Just focus on 2 things. Make sure your stretch is getting more intense here in the groin and your knees kind of went down towards the ground. That's all that matters. All right. Next, we're taking our hands and we're applying a little bit of pressure sort of inside the knee just a little bit. I want you to try to push straight down into the ground. You're going to feel pressure in the back of your head and your shoulders when you do this. And I want you to make that stretch feel a little crazier. It should not hurt. It should be uncomfortable, but should not hurt. All right. 30 seconds. Keep breathing. Keep pushing. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Keep on breathing. And every time you exhale, push a little bit harder into the ground. Make sure your hips don't hurt. Make sure there's no pain, but discomfort. Discomfort is normal. That is your friend. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Last 10 seconds. Flex those glutes. Flex those outer thigh muscles. Pull your knees into the ground as you push. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax. Shake out your wrists. Shake out your hands. Nice and gentle. You don't want to be too crazy on your wrists. Your wrists are fragile, fragile little buggers. All right? Shake them out. Let them chill out because they were pushing so hard into your legs. And do the same with your legs. Flap the wings of your butterfly in this butterfly stretch. And once your legs are coming up and come back down at a good pace, we're ready to move on. We're going to move on into stretch number 3. It's called the standing pancake. All right. If you're regular, you've been doing this for a while, you're feeling quite flexible, or you just know you are able to handle a much deeper pancake, feel free to do a seated pancake. Feel free to grab a stool, grab an ottoman. If you have trouble with balance, with stability, you might want to do a seated pancake anyway. All right. The more flexible you are, the lower to the ground you want that seat to be. The less flexible you are, the higher you want that seat to be. And that is because the seated pancake looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. 30-ish degrees to start is plenty. You don't have to go further. If you want to do like 45, 90, whatever, that's up to you. But from the side, what we're trying to do looks a little bit like this. Legs are wide-ish, and we're folding forward. All right. The goal of the standing pancake and all pancakes is to bring your upper body in between your legs as much as you can. It is really hard, right? You're going to feel it immediately in the hamstrings. This is part of the reason why we spend so much time on the hamstrings. But to get most of us started, gravity is going to be the most helpful to you when your upper body is horizontal. All right. When your arms are extended and you breathe in and out and try to flop over, gravity's going to pull you real deep down into the ground. If that doesn't feel like enough suffering for you, you can feel free to hold something in your hands, extend that out in front, and also let gravity pull you down. You should start feeling it in your hamstrings right away. All right. If you're a little bit more experienced in this standing pancake variation, we got a couple of things you can add. One, you can start to stick your butt back just a little bit so that your hips are not directly above your ankles. If you stick your butt back a little bit, it will bring your chest up a little bit, and then gravity will feel even more intense. All right, and you'll keep on folding downward, letting gravity pull you down. If you want, you can also open up your legs and go a little bit wider. All right, this is optional. You don't have to go that far. When you have found a position you're ready to get started in, stick your butt back if you're sticking it back. Open your legs if you're ready to open your legs. Bring your belly button down and down and down. Keep on focusing on bringing that belly button down towards the ground. And we're going to go for 30 seconds. Y'all ready? Let's do it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. Your pancake might look a little bit more like this, right? As you get more advanced, you might be able to go a little deeper. You might be able to stick your butt back a little further. Great. If you're feeling really good at folding forward, your face is already touching the ground, you might want to just sit down on the ground and let gravity pull you down. That might work out just fine too. All right? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. If you're still in the standing pancake, put your hands down. Slowly try to bring your legs in towards each other. Wiggle your toes, your heels, your toes, your heels, your toes, your heels, your toes, your heels in. If you're in the seated pancake, just get off the floor however you want to get off the floor. No big deal. That was our third stretch, is the pancake. There's going to be a whole bunch of levels of athletes here. I'm calling you all athletes. You heard me. So, just trying to cover a whole range of different versions of the pancake. If that felt like it was too much information, let me know in the chat, and I'll try to slim it back down again. But I want to make sure it's useful for as many people as possible. All right? That was a third stretch. If you had your legs super wide and you were hanging out here while you were doing the pancake, you're going to feel a whole bunch of stretch in the inner thigh. You're going to feel a whole bunch of contraction in the inner thigh because your brain is going to stop you from going out any further. It's going to force your muscles to pull back. And even though you're trying to stretch, your muscles are going to be contracting. And because you're hanging out here, your whole entire body weight is being supported by your inner thigh muscles. That contraction after a certain amount of time is going to feel really, really not fun. All right. So if your inner thighs are complaining to you right now, that is completely normal. That's okay. All right. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. It's a little bit more chill from here. Yesterday we did the pigeon stretch. So today I'm going to demo the figure four stretch. If you know which you prefer of the two, feel free to jump in whichever you like. And let's begin. Both stretches, the figure four and the pigeon, have the same fundamentals. We're taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, we're grabbing that ankle, we're bringing it up towards the belly button, we're bringing the belly button down towards that ankle. Boom. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. You're going to feel a stretch out here in the side of your hip. That is a glute muscle. When your leg is rotated like this, your hamstrings are going to be sort of facing towards the center of your body, and you might feel a little bit in your hamstrings as well. If you push your ankle out towards your face later, your hamstrings will really let you know. All right. We'll cover that again soon. Don't worry about it. When you're ready, let's get down into figure four. The figure four stretch has us lying down. All right. So I want you to flop on over to the ground. Lay down. Relax. Catch your breath. Chill. And let's cross the leg. Boom. Crossing one leg over to the other side. We're making this triangle. I want you to stick your arm through the triangle, stick the other arm around the outside, and I want you to grab your other knee. All right? The knee that's not crossed. And once you're in this position, I want you to take a couple seconds, a couple of breaths, pull your leg in towards your chest. All right? Inhale. Pull on that leg a little bit. Exhale. Pull on that leg a little bit. Inhale. Pull on that leg a little bit. Exhale. Pull on that leg a little bit. Keep on pulling. Inhale. Exhale. And when you brought your leg in towards your chest a little bit, you're feeling that stretch. We're ready to begin. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. If you're feeling a little bit of an ache in this knee, the one that's crossed over, you can cup the knee, you can stick it in your elbow pit, and you can apply a little bit of pressure on it directly to help pull it into your chest. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Keep on pulling everything into your chest. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our figure four stretch. Whew, that's one side. Let's go ahead and get ready to do the other side. Take one leg, cross it on over to the other side, make that nice triangle, stick your hand through the triangle and around the outside of the other leg. Grab that knee, start pulling it in. Inhale. Exhale. Keep pulling. Inhale. Exhale. Keep pulling. Third time's the charm. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Keep on pulling. Get that stretch really going and cup your knee. Elbow pit that knee. 30 seconds. Let's do it. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. You can use both your arms to grab onto the leg that's across your body directly. And you can just use your thigh muscles to push that knee in towards you for a little bit of bonus help. You don't have to pull on that leg like we started. That's optional. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax. Let your body flop on down to the floor. Breathe. All right. You can plant both your feet flat. You can sort of let let your hips and your knees flop to one side. Go the other way. Let it drop on the other side and keep going. Flop. And flop. Let the low back relax a little bit. All right. There's a relaxation. It's not about throwing your knees into position. Chill. Relax. Flop on the floor. Catch your breath. Whew. All right. When you're ready, come on back up. We are done with 4 of our 5 stretches. Whew, I'm off balance. We're going to move on into some side splits. Right? If you somehow don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we put ourselves through every single day a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you want to practice consistency, you need a little bit of help along the way, make sure to hit follow, subscribe, and keep coming back because we do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you're not in the Eastern time zone, you don't know what time it is there, we started 46 minutes ago. Cool? Let's get into some side splits. First thing I want you to do is go grab a stool, grab a chair, grab a yoga block, grab something that will help give your hands a little bit of support. All right. The reason we need that support is because we're eventually going to get into a position that looks like this. All right. Having some hand support is going to make it a lot easier. I got a nice folding stool that is got to be at least 7, 8 years old at this point. We got some yoga blocks. You can use a stack of old textbooks. You can use a coffee table. You can use an ottoman. You can use a chair. All right. Just try to find something that is relatively stable, will not completely flop over, will not collapse underneath you because we're using it to support some of our body weight. And preferably, it's light enough for you to toss out the way when you don't need it or shove out of the way so that you can adjust as you need to. All right. Once you have whatever you're going to try using, let's get ready to go. I want you to bring your hand support in front of you, and I want you to bring your butt over to a wall. All right. When your butt is against the wall, I want you to take a tiny little baby step in front of it. When you're slightly in front of that wall, I want you to open up your legs a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you're about 30, 40-ish degrees, that's plenty. All right. Make sure you're not feeling any discomfort in your hips. You can do a little wiggle, you can do a little shake, and we're going to continue by folding forward and putting our hands on our hand support. All right. I want you to rest your butt against the wall. Rest your hands on your hand support. And I want you to see if you can open up your legs a little bit wider. From here, we're going to get into some leg rotation. There's this lumpy bone part right here on the outside of your thigh bone. If your legs keep going up, they're very likely going to go smash into your hips. That's going to cause you to hurt. We don't want that. So we got to rotate this leg backwards 90 degrees so that lumpy part slides right behind your hip bone. All right. What that looks like when we're doing this is this. Boom. We're rotating the leg backwards so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. All right. We got to do this on both sides. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. So with your hands on your hand support, with your heels down, your toes up, your knees up, your butt resting against the wall, I want you to find a nice, comfortable position where you feel like you're in control. You don't feel like you're about to slip and fall. Maybe you don't feel like you're in too deep of a stretch yet. And the reason why we care about this, feeling comfortable, is because when you feel like you're in control, it's going to be much easier for you to relax. If you feel like you're about to slip, you're 1 millimeter away from toppling over onto the floor, your muscles are going to stay tense. They're going to try and control you. They're going to try and keep you from flopping over. And that tension, whether or not, that's a real, real possibility or not, that fear of it is going to keep your muscles tense and it's not going to help you get any deeper into your stretch. All right. So I want you to find a position where you feel comfortable, where you feel stable, where you feel secure. Your hands are supporting you, your butt is supported by the wall, your legs are feeling good. And once you're there, we're going to breathe. All right. I want you to take a nice big breath in. Inhale. Hold. Slowly exhale and see if you can drop a little deeper into your stretch. Exhale. Adjust your hand support. Find another stable, comfortable, secure spot. And let's go again. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's go for a third. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. If you've gotten deeper and you don't want to go any deeper, you can feel free to stop anytime. All right. You don't have to keep pushing. But if you're ready for a little bit more, you think you can get a little bit more, you can do a little tiny wiggle to the left and to the right. Boom, 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 boom. Little wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right, and we're basically as deep as we're going to get. All right. Right now, your toes should be pointing up, your knees should be pointing up, the top of your head should be pointing up. We're going to hang out here for about 30 seconds. That's the first side split. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Try and get your hand support out of the way so you can pull your knees in underneath you. Come on out of that stretch. That is our first side split. If you don't know, we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of side splits. So there's 2 more rounds to come. What we're going to do in between each of these rounds is slowly shake out our legs, shake out the tension in our feet, in our ankles, in our calves, in our thighs, in our hips. All right? Take a quick step forward. Come on back into standing. Whew. All right, let's go. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. I want you to start with your ankles. I want you to gently flop them around just a teeny tiny little bit. Just a little bit of gentle motion, and then pick up the intensity as you go. The reason why we're shaking out our ankles is because your whole leg is going to be full of tension. Your whole entire lower body is probably full of really intense tension from doing the side splits. When your ankles are flopping all over the place and they're getting a bigger and bigger and bigger range of motion, they're flopping further and further and further, a lot of those muscles have to be relaxed enough to let you get there. All right? And this is how we sort of shake out the tension and we visually see that it's happening. Switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, 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 shake some more. Shakety, shake, 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 shake. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Flop, 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 flop. And if you want, you can start adding in other parts of your body to flop around. Shake, 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 shake. Take a couple of quick steps. Make sure your legs do feel a little bit better, feel a little bit looser. And let's move on to our hips. I want you to put all of your weight into one leg. I want you to take the other leg, bring the big toe down on the ground, bend that knee, point the knee as far to the left or the right as you can. All right? Flex those glute muscles, really pull that leg open, and then do the opposite. Bring the knees almost together. Whew. Feel the contraction in the muscles here in the front of the hip. And I want you to do a couple of reps, really focusing on range of motion, building up some strength and control. And if you're a regular, you can start going a little bit faster. You can go a little chiller. You can go a little bit more floppy and help yourself to relax. All right, let's do the same on the other side. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, 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 shakety, shake, shake, shake. Shake out everything a little bit more. Floppity, flop, flop, flop. Ah, that is how we cool down from side split number 1. Let's jump into side split number 2. Put your hand support in front of you, butt up against the wall, half a step forward, open up those legs, hands on your hand support when you fold forward, rest your butt against the wall, and find a nice comfortable position with your legs a little bit wider. Butt against the wall, hands on hand support. From here, we're going to rotate the legs so that, boom, heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Keep your hands on your hand support if you need it, and do the other side. Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. Wherever you are, as long as your legs are rotated, you're already in a side split. All right? You might be a little bit high in your side split, but you're in a side split. From here, it's time to get a little bit more closer to the ground. Adjust your hand support. Bring it closer to your hips. Do a little wiggle, do a little squirm, so you can get a little deeper into the ground. Let your butt rest against the wall. Slide down that wall. Find a nice, comfortable position for you. All right? Yours doesn't have to look like mine. If you feel stable, if you feel like you're balanced, if you don't feel like you're about to tip over, you don't feel like you're about to fall, you're able to breathe, you're able to relax, then you're in a good spot. All right? Let's relax. Inhale. Hold. Exhale, chill. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink a little deeper into your stretch. Adjust your hand support. Adjust your legs. Adjust your butt. Let's go. Third time. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. If you don't want to go any further, you can't. That's okay. Please hold back. Don't push any harder. It's all right. All right. You don't have to do all of this all in one day. If you want to do more, you want to try a little bit more, we can do a little tiny wiggle to the right, a little tiny wiggle to the left, a little tiny wiggle to the right, a little tiny wiggle to the left, get a little bit more, and it's time for side split number 2. This time, I want you to try your best to walk your hands forward a little bit so that your knees and your toes kind of point forward at a diagonal at around 45 degrees. When you do this, you're going to feel more of an intense stretch in your inner thighs, in your adductors. That is what we want. You can maintain this while still using your hand support. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. If it doesn't feel intense enough for you, you can bend your elbows a little bit. That'll shift some more of the burden to your legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Try to move your hand support out of the way. Crawl forward just a little bit. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our second side split. Whew. Sit back, relax, chill, catch your breath. Let some of that tension dissipate out of your legs. And when you're ready, we're going to come back up. We're going to shake out our legs. We're going to get into side split number 3. Let's go. Stand. And let's shake it out. Nice and gentle. Start with the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. There is a certain relationship with how fast you're flopping, with how relaxed you probably are, but you don't gotta go crazy, all right? If you feel like you're doing good enough, you're doing good enough. It's fine. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 and whew. Do a little wiggle. Take a couple steps. Make sure that leg feels good. Let's switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Start nice and gentle. Pick up the intensity as you feel that is comfortable for you. All right. If it's not comfortable, you're probably going too hard. Dial it back down a little bit. Doesn't have to look like mine. Make it yours. Cool. All right. Hips, all your weight on one leg. Big toe is down. In, out, in, out, in, out. Really focus on getting that maximum range of motion to start. And then after a couple of those, you can start flopping that leg around, shaking a little faster. See if you can get your thigh muscles to flop around and fly because you're changing direction so fast, your loose muscles can't keep up. All right. All your weight on one leg. Big toe is down. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and shake, 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 flop, 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 flop. Whew, shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. I'm a big believer in taking the mobility that you're working on, finding a way to make it fun. So it's not just work, it's not just a burden. If you want to, you can add in some stanky leg, all right? What I want you to do is boom, pull that leg in. Boom, pull that leg in. Boom, pull that leg in. Have fun with it. Do a bunch. Switch from side to side, hop, and do a whole bunch of stanky legs real fast until it doesn't look anything like a stanky leg no more. That is how you take your mobility, have some fun with it. It is Friday night. If you're gonna go out later, you want to practice some dance moves right now, please have at it. Have fun. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna solve a quick puzzle over on TikTok before it kicks me out for thinking I'm a bot. And we're gonna get into side split number 3. Let's wrap this show up. Hand support in front, butt up against the wall, half a step forward, open up those legs, fold forward, put your hands on your hand support, pull everything in towards the wall, open up your legs a little bit wider, and let's rotate the legs. Heels down, toes up, knees pointing up. Hands on your hand support, butt against the wall. Find a comfortable, secure spot where you feel safe, where you feel like you're in control. All right? Take your time, no rush. And when you're there, we're still gonna start to breathe. All right, inhale, hold, exhale. See if you can relax deeper into your stretch. Again, if you are not getting any deeper when I tell you to exhale, that's fine. Try your best. If at first you don't succeed, try again. All right, cool. All right, inhale, hold, exhale, relax. That's 2. Let's go a third time. Inhale, exhale. Whew. All right. Again, only if you want to. Do a little wiggle to the right, little to the left, little to the right, little to the left, and let's go for side split number 3. You got options. We did the first one where the toes, the knees are pointing straight up. We did the second one where our knees and our toes are kind of pointing forward at a diagonal at 45 degrees. So you're feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. You can pick whichever version you want. Get into position and let's begin. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Oh, bring your knees in underneath you. That is our third and final side split. Take your time. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects expressing your frustration with this stretch as you want, because we're done. That was our third and final side split. We've done the really hard stuff. Come on back into standing when you can. And let's shake it out. Start with the ankles, nice and gentle. Floppity, floppity, flop, flop, floppity, flop. Remember, the goal is relaxation, right? We're not necessarily trying to race you to the fastest ankle shaking craziness, all right? That's cool, it's fun, but it's not that important. The goal is helping the muscles to relax. So I want you to imagine that you are a big, soggy, overcooked piece of pasta that you forgot or you intentionally left behind because it was too much of a pain in the butt to scoop out of the pot. And you kind of let it soak in water for 3 hours. Dinner's been over. You watched a movie, all that stuff, and now you're cleaning out, doing the dishes, and that big, slurpy, loose piece of spaghetti flows down the drain. That's you. You're going flopping around. Cool. Shake, 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 shake. Hopefully, at some point you switch to the other leg, but in case you haven't, let's do a couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and let's shake out the hips. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down. Bring the knee in, out, in, out, in, out. If you're brand new to the show and you're like, wow, he's moving so fast, please slow it down for you. All right. I try to keep the energy high. That does not mean that that's necessarily the best move for you where you're at. If you're building into this movement, you're trying to figure out control, you're trying to figure out range of motion, take it slow. Focus on what you need to focus on, and that'll be good. All right. Switch to the other side. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down. Bring that knee in, out, in, out, in, out. If you're ready for more, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And if you're ready to just relax, you can get lazy, do very minimal motion, but have almost no weight in this leg so that your thigh muscles aren't kicking in. And when you start shaking really fast, your thigh muscles, because they're not doing anything, are just going to flop back and forth and going to be like, blah, 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 blah. That is some bonus relaxation. All right. And also, stinky leg. All right. I don't know what this is. This is definitely not stinky leg anymore. Stinky leg, stinky leg, stinky. All right. That is the majority of our show. We're going to do a couple of quick joint checks, and then we're going to wrap up, look at the chat, do some Q&A and stuff like that. All right. We got 3 things left. Hip circles is the first thing. Slowly come on through. Work as deep a range of motion through your hips as you can. You just did some side splits. You got a lot of tiny little muscles all over your hips going, ooh, I don't like this. So do a couple of circles, give them some attention, give them some love. Say, hey, hey, everything is okay. And also, wow, that is way, way more uncomfortable than I thought. And switch to the other side. Keep going, do a couple loops. Whew. Once you're done those, we're going to do a quick high knee. Boom. That's 2 of the 3 things. Third and final thing, we're going to do a couple of calf raises from a squatting position. We're going to try and get a whole bunch of joints in our lower body working all at the same time. It's going to look a little like this. I want you to bring your legs about hips width apart, not super wide, not super narrow, hips width apart. We're going to come on down into a squat. I want you to lean your upper body forward so it looks like you're about to tip over. Then I want you to push your knees forward as well. So you're really trying to fall forward. When you put yourself in this position, your toes should kick in to try and grip the floor to keep you from falling over. That's what we want. The arch of your foot should probably also kick in to help keep your foot stable. Perfect. Your quads are probably crying. Your low back is complaining. You're getting a nice stretch in your Achilles tendon. You're getting a nice stretch in your calves. I want you to put your hands down on either side. Feel that tension leaning forward and do some calf raises. Up and down. Try to balance your weight between your big toe and your index toe. Come on up and down and up and down and up and down. Do as many as you want. If you're feeling a crazy burn and you want to stop, feel free to stop. But if you can keep going, hey, why not? Keep going. When you're ready to wrap things up, let's recap what we just pulled off. When you were in that position, you had your ankles going through a crazy ton, Achilles tendon, calves, all that crazy workout. Your toes gripping the floor, your arch trying to keep you stable, all the little tiny muscles and tendons in your foot trying desperately to keep you from flopping over. Your quads firing to help you, squat and stuff. Your low back holding your, whole entire upper back up, firing. And you had your hips, your knees, your ankles, all the little tiny bones in your feet working pretty damn good together. So chances are you're probably good to go back to whatever else you have to do for the rest of the day. All right. If you were not able to do some of those things, then perhaps you should take some rest and take some time to recover, because that would imply you need some time. All right. That is our show. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. If you haven't heard the blurb yet, we do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. It is currently 10:07 p.m. Eastern. That means we started an hour and 7 minutes ago. We're pretty much done with the meat of the workout. Typically, I try to be done a little tiny bit faster, but I think I explained and joked around a little bit more today. And we do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. So if you like those things, hip mobility, side splits, consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We are live every single day. Tomorrow is Saturday. Saturday mornings, we have a bonus live starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. That is 11-ish hours from now, like 10 hours and 53 minutes if we want to be a little bit more precise. That live is not going to be side splits. It's probably going to be what we were doing the last couple of weeks, which is back, posture, and neck stuff. All right? Maybe a little bit of glute stuff, because oftentimes when your glutes are a little too relaxed, too chill, your low back kicks in and suffers for it. A lot of low back discomfort comes because your butt isn't working the way it should be. So we'll work on a little bit of all those things. It'll be about an hour, I guess. And if that sounds interesting to you, then make sure to come back for that. That is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, which is 10 hours and 52 minutes from right now. All right. On this account. So however you found, no, actually that's not true. However you found this, you probably scrolled into it. But hit follow, hit subscribe, come back to this account in the morning. There'll be a show going at 9 a.m. All right. Otherwise, this show, 7 days a week, 9 p.m. Eastern, so nighttime Eastern, is side splits and hip mobility. We do this every single day. You do not have to show up every single day. I show up for the internet every single day, so when it makes sense for you to come back, you should come back 3-4 times a week. That'd be amazing. It'd be really good for you. I'll be here. Cool. Cat G says, thank you, Ken. Good night, everyone. Cat G sends a bunch of emojis of me, or I guess they're probably stickers, right? Of me doing something weird with my hands. Enthusiasm. Okay. I'm gonna look at the chat now because I think I'm out of stuff to promote. And yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take a quick look at YouTube because usually there's much fewer things going on in YouTube. True Blue over on YouTube says, good evening, everyone. Welcome back, True Blue. Thank you for hopping in on both YouTube and TikTok. I appreciate it. If you guys don't know, I simultaneously live stream on TikTok right here and YouTube right here. And all of the old recordings are hosted over on YouTube. So if you want to find the old video for some reason, it is available on YouTube. The username is at splits on the side. So the same username as on TikTok. And if for some crazy reason you wanted to follow a whole bunch of other platforms, I also have Instagram and Facebook. You can go ahead follow on those things too. Sven asks, can I do a backflip? I have succeeded in the past doing a handful of backflips. I have zero confidence in doing one now because the last time I did one, when was the last time I remember doing? That was probably 7 years ago at this point. So yeah, no, I got no confidence. I'm gonna need to start training from scratch to make sure I got confidence before I go doing backflips again. Sven says, please. Sorry, man. Michael says, gain muscle or gain eagers. I don't know what that means. This is mostly a hip mobility and flexibility show. It's mostly about stretching. We're not really doing very much to actively build a bunch of muscle unless we're doing the active components. For the people who've been on the live since quite a bit earlier when we are doing the hamstring stretch, for example, when I told you to contract your hamstrings, to stick your heels into the ground, that was you building up muscle strength, at least in the hamstrings. And there's a mechanism for flexibility in there. We don't have to get too deep into that, but that's basically the one component where we possibly could have done something to help us build a little bit of muscle. So in general, this show is not about building muscle, it's about building mobility and flexibility. Jack says hello, sends lots of awesome emojis. True Blue says, yes, my arms are on fire. I think that came in when we were still doing the rotations and the arms are going back behind us. Otherwise, we got great emojis, and I think that wraps up YouTube. Let's take a look at TikTok. Alba asks, what is happening when your two big toes are numb and you can't feel them in the daily basics? Um, if your two big toes are numb and you can't feel them, I honestly have no idea. You're probably going to have to find and ask a podiatrist for some real expertise. But I can make some basic guesses and you can go Google around and see if that makes any sense. If you have if you have shoes that are pretty typical, stylish shoes, where the front of your shoe looks kind of pointy, it's possible that your big toes have been kind of smashed into your shoes for so long that they're feeling a little bit abnormal. They're feeling a little irregular. And I'm not saying that all shoes will cause this to happen to you, and I'm not saying that bunions aren't somewhat genetic, but a lot of people create things that look like bunions to themselves because they hang out in shoes 20 hours a day that force their toes to get smashed in the front. If that's you, maybe that could be contributing to why your big toes are a little bit unhappy and why they're feeling a little bit numb because they've been getting smushed for a long time. Same way how if somebody squishes on your arm because you fall asleep weird or something and that arm kind of goes numb and gets a little funky, that could be part of it. That's my best guess. Otherwise, if you hang out barefoot all day and only wear flip flops exclusively, then it's probably not that. I got no idea. All right, I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna check out what else we got in the chat. Cat G sending good vibes. Chase sending awesome emojis. Let's see. Cat G sending awesome energy, saying let's go. Guillermo sharing the live. Thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna scroll up. I'm gonna see if there's any questions, comments for me to address. And if there isn't, I'll just wrap up right here. I'm scrolling. A lot of people have followed. Thank you, thank you. Got a whole bunch of gifts. Akat Boot and Lindy sending hearts. Thank you, thank you. Joining the fan club. Thank you for being part of the fan club. And Suri says howdy, everyone. Hey, Suri, welcome back. And I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Greenpeace says thanks. I definitely want to get my splits. Amazing. I don't know how long you lasted on the live, but I've been making slow but steady progress for a long time now. And towards the very end, I did an isometric hold, which is another moment where we could be building some strength. I don't tell you guys to do an isometric hold because it's a little bit more advanced than I think the average person coming into the show would be. But we can talk about that. And we have a special live all about isometric style training and strength training to build up some control and some strength in a slightly different life. If that sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments below and I'll see if I can put it on the calendar. All right. Green P has questions being answered by Travel Directly. Yes, what is this good for? Most of the stretches that we do, most of the warm-ups that we do are for hip mobility. All right. And side splits in general are just an extreme form of hip mobility, right? And there's even more extreme forms. People can like do splits where their legs start going up past 180 degrees. That's still hip mobility. So when you're working on hip mobility, you're developing at some level the ability to get a little deeper into your splits. And if you want to get there faster, getting really strong in those deep ranges of motions is going to make it a lot faster. Cool. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Rose says I'm late. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's Friday night. I hope you had fun doing whatever you were doing, and now you're here to wrap up and chill out. Lou says this feels great. Amazing. Minstron Lover says, okay, 70-degree angle. I wonder what that is coming in from. Is that from Pancake? Is that from opening the legs wide when we're doing the splits? Is that from something else? Let me know. Travel Darcy says, okay, Flexible King. Travel Darcy says, woo! Lou is excited. Says, feels great. Chereth, welcome back. It's good to see you. Says, ankle, ankle, knee. Lou says, whew, my hips popped. Has a crying smiley emoji and then just a crying emoji. That is a little concerning, but I think later Lou says felt great, so I guess that's not all bad. All right, cool. D says it's Friday, we made it. I'm hoping you had a great week, but that sentence definitely does not make it sound like you had a great week. You're desperately fighting for the weekend. Okay. I hope you have a lovely weekend. And I'm going to keep scrolling up, seeing what else we got to cover. That is pretty much the top. Che says hello. I'm going to scroll all the way back down and let's get ready to wrap up. That is all the chat as far as I can see. At some point, TikTok stops showing me old, early beginning chat, but I had one coming in from Che saying hello, so I assume that's pretty close to the top, which means we covered most of the stuff that was going when we were actually doing the exercises. So if you have any other last minute questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to throw them in the chat. But otherwise, I'm gonna shut down probably in the next 30 seconds or so. All right. Once again, thank you everybody for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. We are done. This live has been running for about an hour and 16-ish minutes. And that means we're doing pretty good, pretty fast on time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend if I don't see you. If you want to do more side splits, you want to do more hip mobility, you want to work on your back posture and strengthen some of this stuff going on back here a little bit tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So in 10 hours and 40-ish minutes, I'll be live doing a little bit of that. It's going to be a much more chill, relaxed live. There won't be as much crazy energy as this show. And hopefully you get a nice way to warm up and start your day. Otherwise, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. We're here doing some side splits, doing some hip mobility. Again, you don't have to be here every single day. That's just how I make myself available to you on the internet. And 4 or 5 times a week is plenty. Plenty, 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 plenty. All right. That's it. Thank you so much. I don't think any other comments came in. So that is how we're wrapping. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. If I don't see you, closing out.